Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Ask Me Anything. This is Katrina. Tonight, we'll be talking about how to create a good habit, and I'll be sharing two of the best learnings that I've gotten from this book, Atomic Habits by James Clear. By the way, if this is the first time you're seeing me, I'm Katrina. I love what I do. I help immigrant career moms move beyond the 9 to 5. Let me know, guys, where you're tuning in from so we know how global we are. Happy Sunday. It's nighttime, another brand new week up ahead of us. But before that, of course, I won't be ending the day without you guys hearing from me. Okay, so as I promised yesterday, I will be back today. And I was thinking of, okay, what value can I share with you guys today? And I felt the tug to share this one, especially with it's the last quarter of the year, and we just started the new school year, so we're getting into the routine, the habits. So let's dive in. Okay, so we'll make this short and sweet because it's almost midnight here, and you want to keep the good habit of having enough sleep to sustain us for the following day. And tonight, we'll be talking about, you know, why, if ever, have you ever wondered, why starting a new habit feels so hard? Or also, if you're thinking, good habits, do they need to be complicated? And the answer is no. Good habits don't have to be complicated. In fact, the easier you make it, the more consistent you'll be. So we'll be talking about those two major points. And James Clear, he mentioned he has 4 laws on how to create a good habit. So I'll just mention all 4, but we'll just be talking about two for today. The two that are really making a huge difference in my day-to-day habits for the past couple of weeks, I would say. So he mentioned these 4 laws. Of course, you can grab the book. I think I have. Oh, I don't have the. Let me see here. I'll load it up so you guys can see. You can buy it from a Kindle or audiobook, Amazon, paperback. I think they have also hard copies, like hardbound. So I'll show you here how it looks like. Atomic Habits. If it's the first time you're hearing it, I have it as an audiobook, and I actually have listened to it twice already for this year. And every time I would listen to it, I would make really huge improvement in my habits. So this is how it looks like. There you go. Tiny habits. Let's see here if I can adjust the screen. Atomic Habits, Tiny Changes, Remarkable Results. This is by James Clear. And he mentioned 4 laws on how to create a good habit. Law number 1 is make it obvious. Number 2 is make it attractive. Number 3, make it easy. And number 4, make it satisfying. So those are his 4 laws. And I'll give you also a screenshot. You can easily Google it. Just Google Atomic Habits cheat sheet, and I will also. It comes in like a bonus page on the audiobook, but if you go on, just Google it, it will give you this exact cheat sheet that I'll be showing you right now. So like this, it looks like this. This is the habits cheat sheet. So these are the laws that I mentioned. Make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, make it satisfying. So I'll be talking about the third and the fourth law for tonight, and the other 2 laws on another day. So the very first one is this one. We'll jump to law number 3. By the way, if ever you felt like you have a hard time sticking or creating a new habit or sticking to it, comment letter H. If ever you have experienced creating a new good habit, or you've created it and you just fall off the wagon after a few weeks. Hey, Yentel, nice to see hear from Utah. A comment letter H if you've ever felt that way. And yes, I am with you. I am commenting big H here on the chat. So comment H if ever you've experienced creating having a hard time creating a new habit and sticking to it. Okay. So law number 3, it says make it easy. And on the cheat sheet, 3.1 says reduce friction. You have to decrease the number of steps between you and your good habits. How does that look like? Right? And as I mentioned earlier, if you ever have wondered why starting a new habit feels so hard, it's because it's not you. It's because of the friction in your environment. That's what James Clear have said. So you have to reduce the friction. So every extra step between you and a good habit is a resistance. For example, if you want to work out, what you need to do, then he said, lay out your gym clothes the night before, maybe your gym shoes on the foot of your bed or right before you exit your door. Make it there. If you're doing home workouts, then lay out the rubber shoes where you will see it beside. For example, you're doing Pilates or yoga, then put your yoga mat. Make it as easy as possible. So if you want to read more as well, you can put a book if you are into like physical books, that then put a book on your pillow or your desk instead of hidden in a drawer. Like for me, for example, I like clear tables as much as possible. But then I realize if it's something that I want to do is out of sight, it's definitely out of mind. So if I wanted to drink more water, I would always have my water bottle here beside me. If I wanted to read a specific book consistently every day, I make sure I download it on my audiobook, like on my Audible app. Or, for example, I just got this set of books from Alex Ramosi, 100 Million Money Models. So it's here on my desk, and the other two books that come with it, because I want to see it. I want to be reminded that, okay, I want to read this book, like even just a few pages every day, right? So the easier the habit is to start, the more likely you'll follow through because there's no resistance. And one more good example is that I bought this water pick, like a water flosser, a few months back. And when something's new, you want to take care of it. So I would put it outside of the bathroom, like here outside, where it's safe. It's not gonna get wet because I have boys. Sometimes they would, stumble on things around the bathroom. So I'm very careful with it. And because of that, I would forget to use it. I would just floss and then, mouthwash, toothbrush, but I would get lazy using that because it's another step. I would step out of the bathroom and I need to grab it here near the dining table, and then it creates another step. There's a friction. So I ended up using it just once, twice a week. And then so when I listened to this part again, I was like, what am I doing? Why am I creating friction? So what I did, I put it in the bathroom, like where the sink is, or the mirrors, where my toothbrush is. So it's there. I'll just fill it up with water and easily. Now, I would say five to six times in a week, I am very consistent using it because I reduce the friction. Okay, so practical tips based on the book is you have to basically remove clicks, steps, and decisions. You have to streamline the process. You have to design your environment. So place healthy cues in your line of sight. As I've said, if it's out of sight, it's usually out of mind. So you have to visually see it consistently, so you'll develop the a good habit. And also another example is automation. Like automation helps. For example, if you want to be consistent with purchasing your vitamins, then you can auto ship it, like for example Amazon, or scheduling your workout. Like if you have a membership at the gym, then book it ahead so you're like forced, you're accountable for yourself because you made it easy already. It's like booked ahead already. Okay, so my challenge for you on that is, um, pick one habit you're trying to build. And let's see here. I will put it here so you guys can see it. So here, so your challenge today is pick one habit you're trying to build and ask yourself, how can I reduce the friction by just one step? And share it below. Let's make it easy together, right? Whether that's your personal habit or habit here in the business, maybe you're a new business owner and you're tackling the training side, and your habit is to do one sub tab or sub module every day. How will you make it easy? Maybe you can bookmark it, right? Or just open it up in your put it on your homepage just so it's there. It's just one click away instead of always logging in and losing the login info. So automate the password, like especially gadgets right now are pretty much advanced. Like for example, on Apple, they have the passwords app right now feature. You can just put your your thumbprint or your fingerprint, and you're already in. So it makes it a lot easier to build that habit. Okay. Next is law number 4. Oh, this is my favorite. I'm loving this so far. Is make it satisfying. Use a habit tracker. So keep track of your habit streak and don't break the chain. I love this. This is how it looks like. You guys can also just Google it, and just Google Atomic Habits habit tracker template. And it looks like this. So you can use it like at any month. You can start any days. So I actually started like, I think on the 4th of September. It's like at the beginning, it doesn't look okay, not very consistent. But now I'm it's very satisfying to see. So you'll just put your habit on the leftmost, and then you'll just encircle the month above. And of course, so you'll start, for example, the 14th. So now you will do that. And it's up to you how you'd like to do it, like check mark. I do mine like X because it would create a chain. And on the book, he mentioned a comedian. I think Seinfeld is the last name. And the comedian was asked, like, how did you improve with your comedy acts? And he said, I just practice every single day. Started in school when he was young. He would do just a couple of minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, until he got a spot at the local bar just for 5 minutes. Like no one is paying attention really to his jokes, but he's there, standing there for 5 minutes. So he got the hang of it until he became, a very famous comedian. And when he was asked what was his secret, and he said, I never break the chain. Well, what does that mean? Like every day he would have this big calendar on his room, and whenever he practices his comedic act for that day, he would put an X mark. So in the long run, it will create a chain. So that has been his motto: never break the chain. And James Clear said, if ever, life happens, if ever you did break the chain, don't do it like 2 consecutive days. You have to get back on it immediately. And that is so powerful. And this is the one, that's why I'm being so consistent also with my posting lately, especially doing go lives, because it's here. What I love about it, it's very visual. When you do it, that's why it makes it satisfying. Here, let me see here. Right? That's why it's very satisfying. And good habits, James Clear said, don't have to be complicated. In fact, the easier you make it, the more consistent you'll be. And one of the simplest tools is the habit tracker. So there's so many habit trackers out there. You can use free app, just ask ChatGPT or Google. And I did try the Miracle Morning app before. I have a Zero app also for tracking my fasting. What else? I did try other apps as well, but I forgot. But so far, what's working for me right now is like a manual tracker. I have this journal tracker and notebook, three in one. This is the Atomic Habits tracker, journal, and notebook. So there's just like prompt here, like a journal, one line per day to make you more consistent. The huge part of it is just a blank dotted notebook, and at the very end, there are suggestions on how to use this this journal. And also at the end part is the tracker. So this is how my tracker looks like. So getting more consistent. So I have my habits over here and getting more consistent, not breaking the chain um, on the XX marks. And that's how you do that, the habit tracker. So try what works for you better. If it works, if the app technology works better for you, Google Sheets or Excel, or maybe your calendar. It doesn't need to be fancy. You can just have your calendar. I just got my calendar from Amazon. You have desk calendar, you have a hanging calendar. We love the big hanging calendar, so all the family members can see what's up this week. So we have my eldest, they have their own calendar for their school events and stuff, but we have also a wall calendar from like simple one from Amazon. We just hang it outside where everyone, like before coming out the door, we will all see what's up this week, what's due, events in school, events in the family. So it's all there. So test it out, whatever you'll feel more comfortable with. So a habit tracker basically reduces mental effort. No guessing if you're on track, because if there's no mark, that means you have not done it yet, and it's already here. Like you've already written the habit in advance, so you just need to mark it. And seeing your streak is motivating. Those check or X marks, yes, it motivates me. That's why, okay, I'm not going to end the day without a go live, because otherwise it's going to be blind today. I need to, I become more accountable for myself. It keeps the momentum alive. So think of it as a game. So each check or each X mark is a win you don't want to lose. And I love the phrases that James Clear said. Like each activity, each action, ask yourself, is this a vote for the person that I want to be, or is it a vote away from it? So if it's a vote towards becoming the person that you wanted to be, then do it. Then it's a good habit. And I want each X mark to be a vote to the person that I want to become, or the person I'm becoming. So example of make it easy with tracking is, yeah, as I've mentioned, just a calendar and a Sharpie, and X out each day you complete the habit, or the apps that I mentioned earlier. So it auto tracks. You just put in, like for example, I have this app for my fasting. It's a Zero app. There's also one that I subscribe to, the Jason Fong's intermittent fasting. So they have their own tracking capabilities inside the website. So you just put in there and automatically tracks your numbers. Also, um, you can also pair it with a habit stacking. For example, after brushing teeth, then I would floss, or I would do my water flosser, right? That's also another part, like make it easy, make it attractive. The other loss is the habit stacking. You have to do another one. Where is that? Habit stacking, like, okay, it's part of the make it obvious. Use habit stacking. So after the current habit, I will blank. So for example, I just recently created the habit of using the water flosser, because for the longest time my dentist has been suggesting that I use it, just so for the hard to reach areas. I've been delaying it. So finally I was like, okay, I'll just do it. And so now my habit stack there is after I brush my teeth. Oh, sorry, after, so brush it first. After I floss, I would use the water flosser, the water pick. So I've created a new habit because I use that as a cue. Okay. And then why does it work? Why it works? Because you don't have to remember. You don't have to remember. The tracker does it for you. If you think, okay, did I do this? Did I some examples of the daily morning habits that I'm doing, like since like this September is like I would do my meditation, my activation. I have certain apps that I want to access every day. For example, for my Christian content, the Abide meditation, I separated that right media. If you want it, like there's my fasting, 16 to 20 hours, or have I listened to my fasting guide audiobook? Have I taken my vitamins, my aging one? Have I weighed myself? I know, they said it can be detrimental, but I want to, it fluctuates, but it makes me more accountable. Have I exercised? Have I drank this amount of water? This is, I think, my poorest. Have I journaled? Yes, I've been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days straight. I've been doing my journals, and I've been using this contentment journal by Rachel Cruz. She is the daughter of the Ramsey professional personality, Dave Ramsey, biblical based financial teaching. This was a gift from my mentors and coaches, Dave and Roxanne. I was like, it's just sitting on my shelf. I was like, why am I not using this? And I love it. It got me writing again manually, like literally pen, like ink on paper. Because it's been a while. I'm just usually using my notes app, and I love the Notes app because when I search a word, I just type in the keyword and it's there already. Oh my gosh, my timers has rang already. But with the writing, it got me writing again. I can feel the callus in my hand, but I like it because it's free flowing. It's also my break from using Chat GPT because this is like, unfiltered thoughts. And I like this because there are prompts. It's not just like, what are you grateful for today? But there are questions like, for example, money. You can easily tell what people value based on where they're spending their money. What are the top two areas you spend the most money in? Do they deserve that priority? Or do you need to make a change? So I was like, okay. And then at the end of the week, it will ask you to reflect based on the thoughts that you have input the past week. And this one, what do you do for fun when it's just you? Write about why you love it. It's like, you know, things that you wouldn't normally ask or write about. So I love those promptings. It makes you more reflective of your thoughts, your emotions, and you appreciate it more. That's why it's called the contentment journal. And I've also read and heard Ali Abdal. He's a productivity expert on YouTube, doctor turned YouTuber, and he talked about journaling as well. And that's how he was able to actually come up. How he was able to decide to become a YouTuber because of journaling, because of the thoughts, because there are different kinds of journaling. You can do gratitude journal, this one contentment journal. So he has like set of questions that he would ask himself, and that led him to really being reflective of what he wants to do in life. So I encourage you to do that. It's like also a therapy because when you write, your emotion is like you unload things. So yeah, that's I think for another topic, but it's really good. So part of my journaling, my habit as well. I'm listening to Ramsey, Dave Ramsey. So I put it here, like the Ramsey app, and then I have two for business mindset, building and skills. And then I also have here checks kids school, like meaning I need to check whatever Jews are. They have their apps. They have, if they have any messages from teachers, homeworks, I need to check that manually. And also I have here sleep at least 7 hours, and then dress up, shower every day. To basically not just to be presentable, but to really up my energy so I feel good. I show my best not just for the business, more importantly for my family. Okay, so those are just some of the things that I put on my habit tracker. And then let me see here. Yes, progress is visible. You get a dopamine hit just by checking it out. Exactly. That's why I'm here. Almost midnight, but I still wanted to do this because it gives me that satisfaction that I'm gonna be right after this. I'm gonna X that spot where, oh, I just mentioned you the personal ones, but I also have for the business, like what types of posts that I need to create. One of those is go lives here everyday stories. That's why for the past couple of days, I am becoming more um, visible on my stories, because stories, it reaches my current followers, and I want to nurture that relationship with my current followers. The feed, like the main feed, that's both for my current followers and people who are not following my page yet. So that's the main feed. But the stories, it nurtures my relationship with you guys who are watching me right now, who have been following me for a while. So I want to consistently build that relationship. So, and also, um, yeah, go live is part of that as well. Carousel posts, like the photos and reels, I am intending to be more consistent on that as well. So that's just a, there's more, but that's just to give you a glimpse of how I'm monitoring both my personal and business activities, because we cannot control the results 100% of the time, but what we have control over are the activities, the habits. And when we control the controllables, eventually the results will show up. Okay. And then let me see here. What else? Yes, there you go. Your new identity, why it works. Another one is your new identity becomes more real with each mark, with each X mark or streak or check. So that means I'm someone who always do go lives, or I'm someone who is consistent with creating content to serve my audience. I'm someone who drinks, who never forgets to drink her water, someone who loves to hydrate. So it's a vote towards the person that you want to become. All right, so that's about that. I hope that helps for you guys. Hello, hello. Hey, Ryan, nice to see you here. And Melly and Colin, thanks for sharing. Watching from Edmonton. There you have it. Awesome, awesome. I usually take the weekend slow with messages. So I'll be catching up on some messages tomorrow. Okay, so I hope that helps for everybody. If you find this helpful, you feel free to share or tag someone who you think needs it. And if you yourself finds this helpful, then comment yes, helpful. Comment helpful if you find if this any of this resonates with you. So um, my challenge for you for that part is here. I will. Let me see here. We'll put it here. Da, 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 da. Here. See. I'll just paste it here. So you have to start the chain today, whether it's a notebook here. Oh, let me see. Let's edit that one. Let's make it a little bigger. There you go. So for making it satisfying for the habit tracker, start a chain today, whether it's a notebook, a calendar, or an app, or track one habit for the next 7 days. So the only rule is do not break the chain. If you're in, comment in. If you're wanting to be more consistent in a new habit that you want to create. Okay, I hope that helps. Let me see here. Hey, Ala, nice to see you here. Helpful plan posting more reels. There you go. You can start today or tomorrow, and then from Monday to next Monday, don't break the chain on that, and you'll be proud of yourself. I promise you that you'll feel a lot better. You'll be proud of yourself when you have completed that. All right, so there you have it. I hope that helps. See you again on another episode of Ask Me Anything. Have a great week ahead, everybody. Okay, bye for now. Cheers.